crisis management and harm mitigation side of things. So we have several schools in the Kansas area, as well as across the country, but we're about the most comprehensive system that's out there. Not only do we have a notification component, we also provide training, ways for staff and students to manage that crisis, keep harm to a minimum, and really, we call it stay alive till help arrives. And so we've been around almost 8 years in business, 400 schools. Kansas City, Kansas has just put our system in. We're wrapping up all the, we just did phase 2, which was their middle and high schools. We're wrapping all of that up now. Mays, right outside of Wichita. We're in the middle of their training right now. Most of our training staff are down there providing the training. They put a system in about 85% of their classrooms. We also just now have Clark County, Las Vegas. We've got a pilot in one of their schools, which they're the 5th largest school district in the country. And we've been recognized from district administration, many other awards as well. In addition, our training actually has been credited to saving lives in an actual active shooter event, which was the Las Vegas shooting, October 1 shooting about 3 years ago. So, our system is basically based on what do we know from recent tragedies and taking a look at what worked and what didn't work, and most of it's what didn't work. Several of the things that have really come out of those is we know that relying on 911 has always let us down if that's the only way to get help there. Too much information is just as bad as not enough. And if you have SROs or if you have local law enforcement close by, they may or may not be aware of the situation until that 911 call goes out. So getting them the information they need as quickly as possible is critical, as well as for your staff to be able to manage that situation. So that's really kind of the foundation for Safe Defend. I'm a former elementary principal and really started it after Sandy Hook to try to say, hey, look, there's a lot that's not working in how we respond. So totally understand that right now COVID is the highest priority in navigating the pandemic. We have really seen, though, a lot of our schools, clients are either adding to their system, putting new systems in, or upgrading because, like you, whether they've got rear ends in the seats now or they're going to be, these types of issues, need to be addressed when you start putting kids back in buildings. So, nice thing about our system, not only do we satisfy the duty to warn, we're going to prepare your staff. We provide notification in multiple avenues, from directly to law enforcement, directly to SROs, to directly to your staff that need to know, so they can have information within seconds on how to start managing this crisis. We've seen panic buttons, radios, surveillance cameras, control access systems. Most of those have been prevalent in just about every school shooting we've had, and actually including SROs. And so we know that they do have a role, but typically when there's a threat to the students and staff, these really have not been effective ways to address that. So that's really where Safe Defend has stepped in and created that. So we can actually make whatever your security team and your staff on the premise much more effective in dealing with this crisis. And we really focus on the fact that what happens when the bad guy is inside the building. We know about 98% of the threats to schools are going to be somebody who knows how to access that building, most likely a student, but it could be a parent, staff member, or spouse. We've seen that even in Kansas, and or somebody who's a former student like Parkland. So our system really brings about peace of mind. That is the main benefit that we really are able to bring, is to not only your students, your staff, and your community as well. Just giving them that ability to know that, hopefully they never have to use the system, but if they do, it's going to make a difference. So, I think we're getting some feedback somewhere. Is that you, Dale, or is that from GA's side of things? Might be GA. So, I don't know, you've been kind of out of the country for the last several years, but over the last 8 years when we've been in business, there's been a ton of companies that are trying to provide solutions to threats, active shooter, crisis management. Since you've been out of the country, you may not be aware of how many there really are, but we have seen companies come and go. We've been here. I started this company almost 8 years ago after leaving education. We've grown every year. And interestingly enough, even during the pandemic this year, we are having one of our best years that we've had. So our system continues to expand and grow and offer new benefits, new solutions, in addition to being able to tie into what we have in existing. And we truly are the most comprehensive system that's out there. There's no other crisis management or harm mitigation system or approach that you're going to find that does what we do. And we're committed to a lifetime approach from our very first client down in Limestone, Alabama, to Kansas City, Kansas, to Clark County. We are fully comfortable sharing any of our clients with you or with anybody that's looking at Safe Defend to let them know, hey, what difference this has made. They know the partnership is for life, and really Safe Defend changes that climate in that school almost instantly. This is just a quote from someone who was experiencing that Route 91 shooting in Las Vegas. This is an email that they sent to their CEO, and he forwarded it to us. But our training is done by Doug.
Good morning, Dylan.
What's that? Oh.
I'm good. I'm G.A. Bowie, the Executive Director with USA Kansas.
Hey, G.A., can you
nice to meet you. Yeah, I wanted to just,
hey, G.A.
If you've got a PowerPoint or a presentation, in your virtual booth.
All right. Well, we got GA's feedback on the back. There we go. Perfect. And the other thing we're doing right now is we're going to offer all USA Kansas members a 5% discount on a new install. And I'm going to demo this system for you real quick here in a second. But also, I don't know if you've gotten a prize number yet, but you can use that to win a prize from the USA Kansas as well. So write that number down, that 99683. But yeah, so we're going to offer a 5% discount on any new install through the rest of this year. And just thought I'd just demo the system for you. Do you have any questions before I actually kind of show you what the system is and does, or?
Not really. Just interested to see what it does.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me make sure I can do this the right way. So, perfect. I'm gonna switch cameras here. And can you see that camera? See this? See our system up here? Perfect. So it's basically set up to be multiple notification points within a building. We have the SAFE, which provides a variety of tools to manage that crisis, whether it's help to escape evade, whether it's help to respond to trauma, or God forbid, even potentially protect the classroom. We're not asking teachers to go take out a bad guy with a gun with less lethal options. That's absolutely not what this is about. But we absolutely can give them some tools to help them protect that classroom and keep that bad guy out of their classroom. That's all we're asking teachers to do. But the most important aspect is the rapid notification, getting information to you, your safety team, law enforcement in the area, so they're able to respond effectively and help manage that crisis as it goes. So we have everything from, these are typically mounted in hallways, transition areas. They're just similar to a fire alarm. The other nice thing about our system is it's biometrically controlled, so students can't set the system off. So you have a lot of, you really have reduced that false alarm aspect to almost zero, because students can't be playing with it, messing with it. The last thing you want is for that system to go off and create that panic and cause an issue. So we have the SAFE, we have the notification. These two components are also what we call an enrollment training station. One, it's one way to get all the staff enrolled in the system, but two, it's a really cool way to actually verify that somebody is in the system, let them play with it without actually worrying about setting the system off. It really builds confidence in the system from staff. They know, okay, yes, my fingerprint works. Yes, I'm able to set the system off if I ever would need to. And it also lets them know if there's any troubleshooting needed. Hey, my finger didn't work. I didn't come up in the system. Maybe we need to get me enrolled or make sure my information's in there. Typically, we'll put these in like the teacher workroom, somewhere kind of a common area, and they can play with it all day long, all they want, just to really get comfortable with the system. But if there ever was a need to have to activate the system with just the touch of a finger, the system gets activated. Alert, alert, alert. You can hear my phone going off. Law enforcement has been notified. Alert, alert, alert. Safe defense system has been activated. So now that plays on repeat. I think you heard my phone go off as well. Within seconds, you're getting that text and email alert, letting everybody know that needs to know where the crisis is taking place. It gives information down to the exact classroom. So now if you're in the freshman wing and something's going on in the senior wing, maybe as a district, you guys have decided to lock down. Now we're locking down within seconds. Maybe we're saying, hey, look, if we're not close to the crisis, we're going to do some observation, but maybe we feel it's safe to get our kids out of harm's way altogether. Maybe we're evacuating that area of the building, perhaps. So regardless of whatever your policies and practices are for your district, we're going to enhance that. So that's within seconds, your building is going into lockdown. Law enforcement's on their way. Do you guys have SROs in your building?
We do not.
Okay. Do you have local PD or sheriff's department covers?
Yeah, both local PD and sheriff department.
Perfect. We actually, in many cases, we actually have put directly to their phones, the officers and deputies, and even administration within the police department, we can put them directly in the system as well, so they can get that alert within seconds. The other nice thing is too, a 911 call is still going out. So we still have that redundant layer of making sure that 911 call goes out, but your staff have already started locking down their classrooms, putting their kids out of the line of sight, maybe getting them out of the building altogether. Those that are close to the crisis are really taking other measures to protect themselves and their kids in that classroom. All of that is done within seconds. And then wherever you are, whether it's somewhere, if you happen to be at a conference, once we get back to real conferences again, or whether you're in, you're at the district office down the street, you'd actually be able to pull up the system. Hang on. You'll actually be able to pull up the system anywhere you are. Can you see my screen at the moment? It shows dashboard with some numbers on the side.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So you or whoever is authorized with the system can control this from anywhere in the you may be. You can check to see the status of the health of the system. Dashboard. And we know one door is open that was on the safe, but everything else is going through. So it really gives you full control of the system, whether you're in the building itself, whether you're somewhere else. It allows you or your staff to really be able to manage the system quite easily. So that's really what I brought as far as to share. What questions do you or does anybody happen to have regarding Safe Defend and what we can provide?
I don't necessarily have any questions. Thank you for the opportunity to see your system.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you guys, I know you're still navigating the COVID side. Are you guys looking at security upgrades at some point down the road, or do you have a timeline that you're considering?
No, I don't think so. As far as a timeline, I know that this is something that is always on our your mind to make sure everything's as safe as possible. So. Absolutely.
Would it be okay if I just reach back out and stay in touch? And
sure.
I certainly won't be hammering you, but I just definitely I'll just stay in touch, and if the time's right, we'd be happy to come out and share the system with your community or your board, and we can take it a step at a time from there.
Sure. Thanks.
Yeah, you bet. Does anybody else have any questions? Can we help anybody else?
Jeff, did you share your price code? Sorry, I wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I did. It's it should be up
Perfect.
right now on the. I don't know if you can see it on the screen sharing, but it should be.
Excellent. Thank you. Just making
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, absolutely. We want everybody to get that prize. So, Ryan or Lori or anybody else have any questions?
I do not. I apologize for getting on a little late.
Are you familiar with Safe Defend at all?
I am actually. I've spoke to you a couple of years at the in-person vendor, and I've actually talked to our chief of police about it.
Oh, right. Okay. And then where? Tell me where you're at again, Ryan. I should know
I'm in
that.
Goddard.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you're with Justin,
Yes.
Dr. Henry. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. Are you guys taking a look at safety again, or are you guys,
Well, we always are. I'd be lying if I told you I know exactly what's going on at central office this year. Right now, just trying to get my building up and running.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you guys having kids in the building, or are you guys starting with a hybrid model, or?
We're actually going to start with kids here all 5 days at my level, which is 5th and 6th grade.
Absolutely, that's awesome. When do they start, after Labor Day, or are you guys?
Yep, they're going to come in on the 8th. We'll have about half of them in on the 8th, and the other half in on the 9th. So 5th grade on the 8th, 6th grade on the 9th, and then we'll take them all.
That's fantastic. I'm sure your parents are appreciating that. I know it's a tough decision to make, but it's seems to be the one that's making the most sense for, I think, most people right now, and still a lot of challenges related to that. So
yeah, parents they're appreciative, but I just feel like we're very fortunate anyway to have the parents we do. But we do have about 15% of our kids going virtual. We're offering both.
Sure, perfect. Well, that's great. Yeah, we're actually we're finishing up. We're just doing training right now in Maze. We put the system in there. So I don't know, when you talk to Dr. Henry next time, we put a little pressure on him. We can take you guys over to Maze and have you guys take a look at the system installed there. So that's not too far from you guys.
Yeah. Oh no, we like to say Maze does it first. We do it right, but that's not very nice. And in all honesty, I graduated from Maze, so
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing a lot of nice stuff up there, and with facilities and stuff. Are you guys doing any new builds or any?
We just finished our last bond. We're just wrapping it up right now. 3 years. We put in all new interior hardware, and we didn't do any new builds. We did a lot of additions. Every building got storm shelters that are FEMA rated shelters, and everybody has the intruder hardware and all of that.
Sure. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just looking. So all I should see right now is the dashboard, right?
Let's see. What do we got on there? I don't know if it's showing it's not showing my PowerPoint at all with the number.
I just see a dashboard. Okay, that's a little different there.
Okay, so let me change the video over to this, and then
Okay.
let me share the screen. So there, can you see the PowerPoint now too?
Now I can. Yes.
Okay, so you want that number right there, that 99683 number, because that'll give you a chance to win a prize from the conference as well. So,
all right. I just wanted to check in as well, though, to see if there is new stuff from last year.
There is actually. I can give you a quick demo. So, yeah, we've really expanded where we are. So we still have the box, and we also have activation modules, which we've typically place in hallways, transition areas, similar to the fire alarm. Typically the boxes are in classrooms. The activation module is in like I said, the hallways, transition areas. A really nice thing that we've added is what we call the enrollment training station. It allows teachers to play with the system without setting it off. So it will tell them, so they really become comfortable with it, understand how they need to put their finger in it. It also lets them know if they're make sure their information is correct in the system. It'll tell them their name, email, that they are registered in the system, that it's working. We've put these in typically like teacher workrooms, areas like that. So all day long they can come and play with it. They'll never set the system off, but they really get comfortable with the system as it's coming through. But yeah, and then we also have added a voice module. So let me set the system off for you and just.
There you go.
Alert, alert, alert. Safe defense system has been activated. Initiate lockdown. Law enforcement has been notified. Alert, alert, alert. Safe defense system has been activated. So the other nice thing about that, right now it just gives out a notification that voice notification that the system has been activated. But we actually are building in right now the ability to have that identify the exact location in the building as well, similar to the text alert that's going out.
Right.
Guests in the building, if you've got maybe staff are transitioning to PE or lunch or whatever, when that goes off, that will actually tell them what room, what location in the building, set the system off. So it's going to be a really nice feature. It already, you know, with the voiceover, lets everybody know, hey, this isn't a fire alarm. This is something we really need to take seriously. And so now we're going to be, we're close to, it'll probably be first quarter, maybe second quarter of 2021. But we'll be able to actually send the exact location through that alert voiceover as well. So it's been really cool for schools as we've grown. So yeah, we continue to expand our options. We're a server-based system now rather than we were basically a small, it's called Raspberry Pi was running the system, but now we basically are a server-based system. So we future-proofed it down the road. We've got a system in Clark County in Las Vegas now, the 5th largest school district in the country. They're piloting it in one of their elementaries. And so, you know, we've really grown in our ability to navigate everything from a one building district to, up to 400 schools. Clark County has right now. So
well, if you get in communication with Ronnie Lawrence, our chief of police,
yeah,
if he wants to pilot it, I'm always game.
Oh, right.
I'm building right across the street from right across the parking lot from central office. So, but I thank you for your time.
Hey, absolutely. I appreciate it. Good talking to you again, and I'll see what I can do.
All right. Sounds good.
Hey, take care. Jeff. You bet. Thanks, sir. We'll see you.